What's up, Buck Doug in the garage. Today we are going to talk about Vari-Lok axles. Those are the factory limited slip differentials that Jeep put in some Grand Cherokees from 93 to 04. It's your ZJs and your WJs. This 2001 47 WJ has it because it has the Quadra Drive four-wheel drive system. Additionally, you could have it with some certain tow packages got it, some two-wheel drive V8s options got it. There's a number of different reasons you might have Vari-Loks, but if you do have Vari-Loks, you have to care for them properly. If you don't, they're either not going to do anything or they're going to be binding up, chattering, making noise on you, and eventually they're going to eat themselves to pieces. So, very first thing you need to know is that this right here is gear oil. This is just regular, what is this, 80-90 gear oil that you would put in a differential or some other application that calls for gear oil. This is friction modifier. This is the Mopar friction modifier. The plates inside of a Vari-Lok limited slip differential need a friction modifier to make regular oil applicable. Now additionally, you can get gear oil that already has, see right there, she says limited slip, that already has this friction modifier put in it. This is a Valvoline one that I've used a lot. Mobile One makes a good one, and there's a number of other ones. Now, this is where the gray area, it's not really a gray area as much as it is just a bunch of different friggin' opinions. A bunch of monkeys with toolboxes all screaming at the top of their lungs that their way is the best. Now, the factory way to do it, the way the dealership would tell you to do it, is you get regular old gear oil. I imagine they tell you to get Mopar, and then you put in a certain ratio of friction modifier. Now, that's how a lot of people do it, but the problem is you got to get your hands on the friction modifier, and I've found, and a lot of other people have, that this more generic off-the-shelf one does work. I particularly like the Valvoline. I ran that in my Vari-Loks up until I got this Jeep. This is the first Vari-Lok setup that doesn't like the off-the-shelf stuff, and this brings me to why I'm bothering to make this video, because there is enough information about it out there already, but nobody acknowledges the fact that all Vari-Loks seem to like a slightly different amount of friction modifier. That's what I'm finding now, the more I've been around them. Everybody offers their solution. Some people say just use this. Some people say you use this and you put 4 ounces in the front, 2.5 in the back, 2 1/4 in the front, and 3 7/16 in the back. I mean, you'll get all kinds of people telling you they have the right answer, but the reality is that each Vari-Lok likes a different amount of friction modifier. So here's my method to find that perfect sweet spot and to figure out what your Vari-Lok likes. I used this for a long time and it worked. I never had a problem. The issue potentially is there may be too much friction modifier in here, which is why I never noticed a problem with it binding, but it also wasn't locking up as quickly as it should have. So I don't do that anymore. The convenience that it offered, I've decided is not worth the potential of not really having a limited slip that is limited slip. So that moves us on down the line to regular old gear oil. I went and got Wally World's finest. It was the cheapest, which is why it ended up in the cart. This is actually CarQuest, so that wasn't Wally World. What's CarQuest? Advance Auto, maybe $6. The front of this one takes 2 and a little, you know, like 2 1/4 of these. Get this stuff off Amazon. I don't remember how much it was. This bottle might have been $12. It is not enough to do both the front and the rear. This is a 4-ounce bottle. You need about 4 ounces in the back and about 2 to 2.5 in the front. So here's what you're gonna do for the front. I did my front today. That's what we're gonna talk about, and then I'll mention numbers for the rear at the end. Go ahead and drain your differential, get your cap back on, RTV, all that good stuff. When you're ready to fill again, take one of these bad boys and jimmy jam 2 ounces of your friction modifier into here. That's probably not enough, but start there, all right? You're going to go ahead and fill your differential with this, and then you're going to need like that much of a second one. Go out and take it for a drive. Low speed, be very careful. You're probably going to hear some binding in the turns, maybe some moaning, maybe a little bit of chatter. There wasn't enough. Now what you want to do is add about 1/4 of an ounce at a time of this stuff. Yeah, it's a bit of a tedious process, but you're getting your Vari-Lok just right. You're probably going to find you're somewhere between 2 1/4 and 2.5 to 2 3/4 ounces of friction modifier in the front of a Dana 30 Vari-Lok on a Grand Cherokee. The rear, start with 3.5 and work your way up from there. You're probably going to be right around 4, but using this method, you get it precisely. Now the issue over here is that I suspect they go heavy-handed with the friction modifier. It makes sense. The last thing you'd want to do is sell somebody limited slip differential gear oil, and then they put it in a limited slip differential, and it chatters, binds, makes noise, and it potentially ruins the unit. So they go heavy-handed. Whereas over here, the ratio we're ending up with is 2.5 ounces to 1.2 quarts. Maybe over here it's as much as 3. Maybe it's way more than that. I don't know, but it makes sense that they'd want to go heavy on it to make sure that they don't get anybody in trouble. And as a result, there's a very good chance that your Vari-Lok is not locking up as quickly as it should. So let's sum this thing up. You can go this route and it will work. I've never, ever seen... I use the Valvoline one. I know a lot of people on the Jeep forum use the mobile one. I think they're similar in price. It doesn't matter. Potentially the same exact stuff. I've never heard of this stuff causing chatter in a Vari-Lok, but that actually makes me a little suspicious. With this method, you want to start low so you know you have chattering, and then you add, I go a quarter at a time until, and you're going to need 2 bottles. Again, this is a 4-ounce bottle. This is probably enough for the rear, and then you need another one for the front. Get it on Amazon, it's like 10, 12 bucks. So that's all there is to it. Hopefully quick video, hopefully helpful video. If you've got any questions, by all means, you can comment down there in the squawk boxes. Check out some more of our videos on Grand Cherokees. There's a lot of stuff to know, man, and we made a lot of videos on them, and I think you are going to enjoy them. All right, if you like the video, consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.